Discussing finances as part of a married couple, setbacks lately, and then some shifting priorities. Hey there, this is gonna be a simple chit chat video. It is mega hot. It's 92 degrees and it's like 8:30 at night and the sun is still shining bright. The room is right at the front of the house, so the sunlight streams in during the day and makes it like one of the hottest rooms in the whole house. So pardon me as I sweat through this video. So I've been married for about 8 months now. I learned a lot in those 8 months about talking finances being married because I've never done that. And people had said that it's so much harder to budget as part of a couple. Yes, it absolutely is. People have also said, oh, it's easier and cheaper to live as part of a married couple. That has not been my experience at all. It is 100% more challenging to deal with finances as part of a married couple. But I have to say that the happiness I feel being part of a married couple is 100% worth any of the challenge that comes along with it. So these are the things that I've learned so far. Thing number one, I can only control myself. I can't control another person. And I know that sounds really simple, but that's the truth. And that is something that I keep learning over and over and over again in life, is that I can only control myself. That's it. Everything else I simply accept and surrender. So this is something, again, that I keep coming up against, is I have very clear, defined ways of how I think the world should run and how I think things should happen. Nobody cares. Let me rephrase. Not that nobody cares, but that's well and good, but I can't demand that anyone do what I think they should do. So learning to accept is a journey and really something I keep coming back to. Thing number two is that words very rarely make things better. This is something that I have heard before and I really appreciate in the way that men and women communicate. Women, at least I've noticed for myself, tend to think more words make things better, and that is not the case in my experience. I've seen men shut down the more words I use. In particular, I've seen my husband shut down the more I talk. So I have learned to use as few words as humanly possible, bullet points and summary. So a book that I love that has taught me the most about relationships and marriage especially is How to Improve Your Marriage Without Talking About It. This has just, again, it helped me when I was dating. It helped me in many relationships, not just with men, but just the idea that words are not always the best answer. More words rarely make things better. So for example, what this looks like is, rather than talking about money, which there's a scientific response that like raises the stress hormone, and guys tend to like shut down because it takes them longer physically to metabolize that stress hormone. So I've learned to just keep it short, brief, and simple, and show rather than tell. Like I'll say, for example, these are my numbers, these are, what I'm thinking about. What do you think? And then just shut up. That's a big thing, is to not ramble on and to be very concise and brief in what I'm saying when I'm communicating with my husband. The third thing when discussing finances as a married couple is to connect with joy. So this is something that I am learning just about, relationships in general, but specifically in marriage, is to find those little things that bring us both happiness. So also when it comes to things like love languages, so Gary Chapman in his book, 5 Love Languages, there are 5 main ways that you can express your love that people have. So there's time, touch, acts of service, gifts, and words of encouragement. My love language is time and my husband's is touch. So they actually work really well together because I'll be like rubbing his back and he'll just be hanging out with me. And that works really well for both of us. But also to highlight ways that we've had fun in the past. I try to be as active as I can. He is very active, so we'll go for a bike ride. He just pulled his bikes out of storage, and that's something we've really been enjoying this summer, is getting outdoors by the river and just going for a bike ride on a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. And that's the way that we connect together and can just be together in a way that's creating joy and making us both feel good. I'll also point out times that we've had fun together, or times that I've really enjoyed. Like, oh, that time that we went to that restaurant, or we went to that concert, or remember when we stumbled across that performance in Central Park that was free, like that was awesome. Or this time that we made the decision to spend money to go to this place and it was really fun. Emphasizing the good and connecting with joy is something else that I've learned. So that's what I got for you after 8 months. Talk to me in 8 years, talk to me in 18 years, talk to me in like 30 years, because that's, I feel like, a true test of a marriage and communication. Like, we are just starting out, but I hope that we are laying the foundation for a successful relationship, because I mean, that's our desire. And I think that we both are committed to that success and to enjoying each other in the future. Like, that's the goal. So that's what I have as far as discussing finances as part of a married couple. The second thing is the setbacks reasons. I'm in Jersey waiting on repairs for a car. I came in yesterday and the part won't be here till tomorrow, so they couldn't do the repair until then. Last time I had a car repair was in March. It cost $1,200. I got 3 good months out of the car. That works out to about $300 a month. I am happy with that cost per wear, considering that we don't have a car payment. So I'm happy with that. That said, this is time and inconvenience, and we are actively exploring other options for a vehicle in the future that will have less inconvenience, ideally. We're thinking something in the RAV4 family right now. I've had my car for 4 years, so I haven't had to buy a car in 4 years, thank God. And that's a huge part of the reason why I just keep repairing it when it breaks down. It has 218,000 miles on it, and I love that car. It's a setback. This expense is a setback, and especially now as we're preparing for baby, who is due in 47 days. It's a little daunting, a little not the right time. Not that there's ever a great time, but it's a little bit discouraging. So especially when it comes to shifting priorities. So that's third thing, is that there are a lot of shifting priorities now, and it's getting wild up in here because as of today, I have only bought 2 things for baby. I've bought a car seat and stroller combo, so we're good to bring baby home from the hospital. Excellent. And I've also ordered a bunch of like big swaddle blankets, which I've heard can be used for many different things. Actually, the recommendation from Kelly, Freedom in a Budget. So it was $29.99 for 12 big blankets. So I'm excited for those to come. And then a huge shout out to Sandra. Thank you so much. You went on my registry and purchased a bassinet kind of pack and play that we're going to be using, so the baby has a place to sleep. So we can bring baby home from the hospital, baby has a place to sleep, and we got some blankets to use. Everything else, my plan was just to avoid buying because the marketing is insane toward pregnant women. Once you kind of get targeted, they come at you fast and furious. And I'm like, I don't need any of this stuff. Like, none of this stuff. I figure when I need it, I will buy it. I don't want to have a ton of stuff that I'm not going to use. So I would rather wait 24, 48 hours for Amazon to deliver it to me than end up with a pile of stuff that I don't need and won't use and then miss the return window. So especially because our home is so small, we just don't have the space for it either. And that's something that we're both doing, is making room for baby as we kind of shift what we're doing. And it's been really good for both of us to kind of weed through. That's what I'm doing here in Jersey as well, as I'm kind of stranded waiting for my car to be repaired. I am weeding through stuff here, I'll show you. It's insane. Actually, it's not so bad now because I worked on it. I've been working through kind of just old things from my life, like papers and journals and notebooks and clothes are the biggest thing that I've been kind of shifting through. And all of this under that vein of shifting priorities, because I've gone from just myself to considering myself, my husband, and another human being that we created together, which is just wild for me. So I have to stay committed through these setbacks and say, you know what? The best thing I can give my baby is the gift of myself at my best. And I do that by not attaching emotions where they don't belong. I cannot afford to attach an emotion to these situations. And just ultimately working through toward that goal of financial independence and building wealth, generational wealth. Neither one of us came from money. My husband's dad is a priest. His mom stayed at home and then kind of went back as a teacher's aide. My mom was executive assistant. My parents got divorced when I was 12. Neither one of us came from money, and neither one of us were told these things about how to grow wealth. This is just something that we both are learning and discovering together. The more I work on myself, the more I realize that we are a team that is changing the way our family looks. And the best way I can do that is by being my best and every day doing what I know I have to do. So another way that this has kind of worked out for me is that I structure my day with the intent toward adding value and building wealth. So I will decide at the start of the day what are the top 3 things that will grow my income that I need to get done today. And then I focus on those 3 things only and I don't get sidetracked. So for example, I was working on baby registry stuff and like thinking about this in the morning because I've been waking up earlier, and I saw myself start to get involved in building out the Amazon registry, because in order to get this $10 welcome basket, you have to fill out at least 60% of their registry, which is ridiculous. That's why people end up with so many ridiculous things on their registries, because in order to get the gift, you have to put all this ridiculous crap on your registry. So I was like going through it and I stopped myself. It's like 7:30 in the morning and I'm like, these are the most precious hours in the morning. Why am I wasting this clicking around on Amazon? So I got off of Amazon and I immediately went to my next prioritized tasks, which were getting this ready for you guys and figuring out items to list on eBay. So that has really changed the way that I think about and prioritize what I do in my life and with my time. I am sure I will go through this multiple times, but the idea that there's another life in the mix is making me want to be better for all of us. So that's how my priorities are changing, and I'm sure they will continue to change, but that's what I got right now. All right, so thank you so much for watching. As always, let me know what setbacks you have overcome this day, this week, this month. I hope you are doing well. Whatever you are going through, persevere, stay committed to your ultimate financial goals. And thank you again so much for watching, and I hope you'll keep watching. Bye.